It's that time again. Grab a friend, sit down, no wind a bit. Tack a J, keeping it real. Can't you see the appeal? They got the jokes, the smoke, and the current events. You know the deal. Soak up that lemon water, tell all your friends. Encouragement for your flourishment is where we begin. Have you heard of it? It's sustenance. Where have you been? Free your mind.
Welcome back to another episode of the Lemon Water Chronicles podcast, man. I'm your host, Tat. Tonight, man, we got none other than the old Jah is dead on the program tonight. Or Jah, I don't know, what do you prefer to go by tonight?
I mean, my name is August Lee, but my artist name is alias has always been Jah Lee. Somewhere along the lines of that, whatever people want to refer to, whatever they recognize that.
Excellent. Well, I met you in both forms. I'm a long-time collector of his collection as well. You can see the stuff on the back in the background there, like that's all art created by him. And that's how I actually came to know you upon going to HBCU and stuff like that. See you on campus, and then we're in the same buildings a lot too. So music, art, communications, videographers, all that's in the same building typically. Right. But wanted to delve right into more of who Jah is. It's like, well, what does it mean to be an illustrator or a creative enabler? Like, I read that on your listing.
To be an illustrator is, just kind of a type of artist. Artist who's more conceptual. They definitely paint a picture. In a sense, like they could take a concept, a phrase, and you illustrate it. You create an image of it, or you create the story behind it, the narration behind it in the vision. And so that's a lot of my art is conceptually based. I usually it's based on like a joke or a bit or something, a phrase or something that, kind of combination of things. Sometimes it could be usually like a random scenario, and then I'll create a visual to it. And that's, to me, that's the illustrator side of it. As creative enablers, more I'm somebody who can spark creativity in others. So I, as a teacher and as an art instructor, I'll have people following me and demonstrate art demonstrations and painting classes, but they'll also pick up the way I think as a creative, the way I see things as a creative, how I approach certain steps in an art piece, or how I can put my building blocks together. And as a creative enabler, sometimes I could see certain things in people that they might not see themselves. They might could produce something in front of me and not know how they got there, and I could tell them how they got there. In a sense, like, oh, I know, I can tell you how you got there, and this is how you can continue to keep going there that same exact way. Like, and that's
what a sensei does, right? I mean, that's
they kind of like that, like Master Splinter,
Yeah,
that Yoda
talk,
shit,
man, for sure.
Yeah, man. Like, they used to call me the guru, man. That's funny. Like, at one point, but that was a whole other thing. Like, but it was that's kind of the role I've kind of taken as an artist. Because I get a lot out of being able to bring it out of other people, and I see the value in being creative, because it's like the last part of us that's kind of innocent and imaginative and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you really tapping into that inner child, that little that little glow and the happy part of yourself. And a lot of people don't get to do that, especially when they got their 9-to-5s and they got a bad relationship, or they got just all these other aspects of life that took them away from this shit they grew up doing.
Yeah.
And so I in my job, I found myself kind of really like, just I would meet middle-aged people, people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s even. And these are people that didn't do art for years. There's decades of people that did it in high school. They had skills, but they didn't tap into it for a long time. And as a creative enabler, I was able to, help them like really kind of get back to it. Felt like I had people returning and showing me their progress. And I had a lot of, I teach younger people, I teach kids, I teach teenagers. I've taught people pretty much in every age range, this art stuff. So it's just, I definitely enjoy. But yeah, those are pretty much the creative enabler and the illustrator definition by far.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, in depth, and that's what that kind of comes expected from somebody, because you carry yourself well as like as not only an artist, but as well as a man. Because it's good to have that kind of connection and people that you walk with, the circles that you run into. I would say the two of us, from my perspective, is that we had always seen each other in passing, being on campus, but you just never speak because college, man. You're younger.
It's just
anxiety. What else? I mean, all that kind of stuff.
I know how I was. I was kind of stone cold,
Yeah, you didn't, and that's okay. I'm glad you said that. I could tell that you didn't hold no punches when you was on campus. There was a lot of cats I met that way. Another guy that come on the show before, his name is No Sir Foster. That was his artist name. He's got albums out. He's been working over in Hawaii and out of the country and throughout the pandemic. Moving as safe as and it's inspiring. And I'm gonna have to have you guys collab on like just a show or something, because it's good to have different mediums of people that art, business, whatever. It's good to connect it all.
I'm definitely with it, man. Like that's where I'm at now, is just kind of like taking my skills and seeing who could use it. And that's what I've been doing. I'm definitely working on a project now that will be nothing but that. Like it's about to be this might be my biggest project yet. And so I'm gonna tell you about you'll definitely be a part of it, because it's kind of one of those things where it's everybody around me is going to be a part of it.
Excellent.
And so, but it's going to be the art version of that. I don't want to give too much of it.
No, yeah, don't give them to it. That was the preview. It's cool. We saw no credits yet. We just gonna stay with the preview, man. And so I guess I took a few things out of what you were saying. Like I misstepped on myself, but you said something to the effect of like, your 9 to 5 can pull you away from what it is that you're creative doing in your life, what it was like being that little kid, tapping into that inner child that was within you. When life has given you lemons, when have you found yourself making lemon water?
I feel like I really focus on the parts of me that I could grow. And that's it. That's all it's been. It's like shit always happens.
Right.
You're always going to lose. You're always going to, hit some roadblocks and some speed bumps and shit.
Right, of course.
But the one thing that you can always guarantee is that there's going to be things around you that you can always nurture and make better. And that's like, if you don't really like process that, then you could kind of focus on, you'll end up focusing on the bad and shit all the time. Or you'll get caught up in all the shit you can't control and all the all the mishaps in a sense.
Right.
And with the way I move, I focus on the art. I focus on the craft. I focus on the boxing. I focus on the music. I focus on, my brain itself and how I can protect it and nurture it in the right way. And I focus on my family, how I can make the people around me better. It's really, that's it. Like, when I focus on all of that, I really don't have time to even touch any limits. It's like the limits be there. Trust me, I have a lot of limits, but I get distracted in a good way, and it's
positive reinforcement, man. It's always gonna be key.
Most definitely. I thank my mom for that. She taught us that, like, that's like one thing with discipline, like you just gotta have them things you do. Like she made sure I had something. I could always turn around and just be like, hey, this my shit. Or this is this shit I'm working on, I'm building, you know. I could be going through anything in life and then turn around and work on this. And whatever feeling I'm having, it could still yield some positive.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just doing it. So it's like a cheat code. Now I feel like everybody should have something like that in their life. Right?
Cheat codes of life. Cheat codes of life. No,
most definitely.
So like what type of mediums of art are your favorites that you like to focus on?
Definitely I mean I do like watercolor, acrylic, I do digital, I do ink, just black ink, pen drawings, I do I've done gouache, I've probably done every medium for paint except oil paint. My personal favorite though is watercolor. That's like my specialty. That's like my the one I'm the most skilled at in a sense. Like I practice.
Now, are the watercolor pieces are the ones that are behind you on your display?
Yep. All of these are actually done in watercolor. So, and it's ink also. Like this one is ink and watercolor. This one is ink and watercolor.
Oh yeah. Let me be a fanboy real quick.
Oh, you got the
damn it. Hold on. 8-ball. Man, damn you, Zoom.
That's tough.
Man, I got this one. Recently, my man's repainted the day for my wedding day. Killed it. Like, wifey was crying and all that, and it's like, it's so beautiful. I can't believe you. Like, bro. But I already knew though. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you got somebody you can trust that does something well, you stick to it. You know what I mean? Like good relationships. That's the same way we met. I did some photography work for you, major life event, photographed that thing.
I appreciate that.
And it was
to this day I still do. That shit is dope.
Yo, bro, like working with y'all boys was crazy, man. Like y'all got the vibes.
Oh yeah, man. That DC shit, man.
Oh yeah. I'm learning about it, man. I'm learning. So like worldly shit. Like, have you checked out the Wale joint? You digging the album?
No, I haven't. I don't think I listened to it at all. I'm kind of partial on Wale.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in and out. I found him more. I appealed more to him when he was rolling with Rick Ross and MMG.
Yeah.
I was feeling that.
I fuck with that era of Wale. It was pretty dope. I don't know how his new stuff has been lately, but he's a good MC. I feel like musically he's just kind of hit or miss for me. But that's just how he is. But he's the bar for bar. He's good lyricist.
So what music do you resonate with the most?
I say like Jay-Z, Currency.
Glad you said that, because you just making us move through this show real smooth right about now. Because that is an area I wanted to get some information on and hear from you about that.
Okay.
So like,
granted, I will say I like a lot of other stuff. Because that is one section of me, but then there's the part of me that will always be bumping 3 6 Mafia and then the other part of me that I bump my reggae and my dance hall, and also I listen to my GoGo, and so it's like that's my rotation.
So GoGo is what I heard. Okay, that's one of the beats that's off the album because I didn't really understand it at first.
Yeah.
But talk to me about GoGo and like what was something before you go to do something, what type of event do you go to after you listen to like GoGo music?
So GoGo is like, I always say, like what hip hop is to, I guess, New York or the American in general is what GoGo is to DC. And so GoGo isn't just like a music in a sense. It's more like it's a culture. It's a feeling. It's a movement. It's been a lot. It's a lot of things in one. But the music itself is kind of like the avenue of it all. And so the go-go music is a lot of percussion, drums, congos, a lot of African bass percussion, live percussion, and then usually you have like, you know, three or two vocalists, and then there's some MC, a main guy who like he's basically like kind of the rapper, or he'll spit a little bit, or like shout out hoods or shout out people's birthdays. Because usually, you know, the go-go's usually like, you know, it's a live event. And so people come to the go-go usually for their birthday. You know, if it's somebody's birthday night, they might rent out the spot, the venue. Okay. And so like the go-go bands that come, you know, they might do a set there. It's like a few.
So yeah, it's a live,
always live. It's you know, you'll have go-go artists and bands that perform and record in studio, and they have like studio-based albums and stuff like that. But it's really nothing like the live go-go experience. You know, you gotta go there in person, and you know, it's really just kind of like this black ass phenomenon in DC. Nice. Yeah, it's probably it's to me like one of the blackest things on the planet. Like just go-go in general. Like it's just because it has every element of blackness. It has the soulfulness, it has the funness to it. It even sounds spiritual and gospel like. But then it also has the hood and you know, treacherous part of it. Because you know, go-go has also been a streamline for a lot of hood beefs and situations, and
oh wow,
a lot of the situations go down after go-go's, and because a lot of rival crews and sets will be there, and you know, that was the lifestyle in a sense, and so like that was.
So it carries a heavy weight behind it, basically.
Yeah, to the point where, you know, it got banned from the city. To where, you know, it wasn't allowed in venues in the city for a while. So I don't know exactly the you know, restriction is now, because I know there are stuff in the city now, but there was at one point where they were like really like demonizing go-go.
You know, how they've done it to almost every genre of music, man. Like they always try to find a way. Anything that's bringing people together, it's always going to be something that they'll try to find negative to tarnish it or tear it apart.
Yeah, and you know, it had its negative aspects. And I be honest about it, because even in the little experience I have with go-go, the go-go live go-go's and stuff, is like I've seen stuff just in a short time. Man. And it's so it's just, you know, it is what it is. But I also think that that's just kind of that was the nature of the environment around it. You know, it was a lot of us ain't have a lot, so that was like the release of it, you know. So these were kids from the projects, kids from, you know, certain neighborhoods, kids from the apartments or whatever. They go and hop on the bus, go down to the downtown or to wherever venue, and go to a go-go for all ages go-go to get out they shit, they dancing, the girls they were twerking and clapping and all that.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, it's
not a party without twerking.
Yeah, but if, you know, it might turn bad. It might, you know,
good fast.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so with like you live in up north. Well, it's north of here. You know, I'm in Bama. You in DC.
Yes, sir.
The transition from, because I actually wanted to talk more about that. Like you've been doing art, but in life, for the most part, in work-life balance, what does that look like in transition between like, you know, Alabama and DC? What's the work-life balance difference between states for you know, being an artist and being connected to a craft?
I mean, it's just been like I've been kind of it's really two different situations for me. For being in Bama versus being in DC, because I feel like when I was in Alabama, I had more like, you know, to work on and to really gain in my life. So I was I was I wasn't really focused on how well I was doing my art, and then I was just trying to get it done and get it out.
Yeah.
And I was also trying, I was trying to hustle. I was trying to make money. I was a kind of survival mode more than I am now, versus now it's like I have my full-time position, and that does what it's supposed to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use that to kind of, help my other hustles go. So with the skill, I guess the skill level and the way I work now, I'm able to still, do a lot of work and put out a lot of stuff. But
so what's like a daily routine for you? Like, you got to be at work at what time? Do you like work on stuff before you go to work, or do you use work to be like a driver for you to grind on it when you get off? So you say you have multiple hustles. So how does that? What's the typical day in the life like?
Man, it varies for real. It definitely varies with the day, because like some days I could go like a few days without doing art at all. I probably make beats every day. That's just something
So I didn't know you produce. I didn't know you was doing music like that.
Oh yeah. That's
what's the website? What's the links and all that stuff?
It ain't out nowhere.
Good. It's explainly. I mean, I'm tripping. I can't even talk.
Yeah.
When you talk about music and beats, I get excited. So it is exclusively encrypted in your hard drive.
I got two app accounts, and both of them probably got like 300 on them each. Like, I don't know how much pieces of music or little things, experiments and stuff I made. I'm huge on samples. I'm huge on chopping and rearranging and altering and pitching. And that's my thing. Like, dude. So I use a phone app.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I use a phone app. So when 2 years ago, my life changed drastically, and within that situation, I started playing around on this phone app, making beats. And I never made beats before that. I never made music. I never touched any music I've ever made was just me probably recording, rapping, and me beatboxing. Like I have beats in my head, but I've never made music. So it was just like, yeah. So now I started playing around with that app. It's called Band Lab. Like there's a lot of apps like it, free. This is some basic free music app. It has an MIDI board on it, and then it has different instruments, things you could play around with. And I kind of taught myself how to make a certain type of instrumental on it. Like I basically like kind of came up with my own formula, my own method, and then I just been playing around with it since. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of on to something, and this might be on some other shit. Like I've been playing around, and then the fact that I do it with a phone allows me to get stuff all the fucking time, and I make beats really fast. So I could
make them all through the phone, or you plug your phone up to another device and work it in.
Depending on what like the mood is. Something like I might plug it into like the sound bar or something and make beats like that. Okay. Or I'll plug it in. I put in headphones and make beats. So what I'm saying, it all depends on how I feel. And I can sit there, like I'll smoke a J and just sit there and make like 4 or 5 different beats or whatever, mash up samples, I got a lot, and it's on the way, as well as like a album, just actual album, like with vocals, everything, like that's all that's coming. Like.
All right, so then like what is it you talk about? And then my bad, man. Like the podcast, you feel free we can talk back and forth. Like you got questions for me, throw them at me.
Have you ever made beats?
Yeah. I used I messed with Pro Tools a little bit, and another one called Reasons through like PC.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, Reasons is real. It's real simple for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like any other. I have the same version that one of my business partners put it on my laptop like back in 2013, and I just got that same version. And so like I just use that. because I'm not that serious about getting back into producing. Like, you know, I'm more focused on, as a drummer, I'm more focused on tracking and learning how to do that for
Right.
people that need drums laid to a track or stuff like that. And so with the pandemic, and then with life struggles, and then just like regular procrastination, it has been like, you know how you have to just get things out of your way for you to be able to do stuff properly, instead of it being like, okay, you know, I'm gonna try to focus here, and it's like you having to like coach yourself into being focused. You know,
Hell yeah, yeah.
that
I already
part
know.
be killing me. You know what I'm saying?
That shit, that shit kills me. Literally.
Yeah, man.
Beats my ass. So but it's like I said, it's a discipline thing, and you know, it's because like to focus is to know what to focus on. So like you just that's really the key.
What does your mindset have to be in today's climate of everybody that does what we do? You know, like what is your mindset, and you know, what do you think is a good one that aspiring artists or people who just have a fondness for it, what could you suggest to them and tell them how you think?
I feel like the realest thing you could do as somebody who creates is to be inspired internally. And so that means like you getting your shit from inside, or you getting your shit from your environment, what made you. And because it's in this time, we're living in a day of age where we kind of blend up ideas, or we blend up our creations, or we mash up. Everybody's kind of just throwing everything in one little pot, and then everyone's using that same little pot, and then
Like
so everything's starting to look the same. So you know, we're starting to see the same type of art, same type of music, same type of TV shows, same type of. We're very uninspired because people are no longer. I feel like it's social media, and you know, things like that is causing us to spend less time with ourselves. We're more exposed to everyone else's ideas and ideals, and what's trendy, and we're being told and eating that up all the time. And so there was once a time where we didn't have that. We didn't have these things in front of us constantly, daily. We weren't tied to it. We wasn't sitting next to somebody else on it. We wasn't being sent memes. We wasn't, you know, we're all getting inspired by the same material because it's being all thrown at us at the same time, the same pace, the same like it's versus at one point we ain't had none of that shit. We probably just had TV, video games. So there was a lot of gaps of time in our lives where we could
separation a lot as well. Like with the video games, within those mediums, there was separation as well. Like, I mean, video games, it was a time where you didn't have memory cards. It was where you couldn't even save your game. The only thing you could do was pause the game and walk, you know, go to the store, come back and pick up where you left off. And then when you turn it off, that's it.
Yeah.
You gotta start over.
That took some willpower back in the day.
Oh, bro, like, and if you're not careful, you leave that bad boy on, and you know, she might overheat on you. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. You'd be bad as hell trying to explain to your mother why you need another PlayStation.
Like, I know that social media is fake. It's something that was created, and you know, and I definitely wanted to get your input on that because I gotta have it because I already know.
I got some views about social media, that's for sure. But I've been using social media since the MySpace age.
Same.
And I've been using I've been using it for, you know, personal use since then, and then I've been using it to push my art since then. Do you think
it's beneficial? Like, has it been beneficial to you?
Oh yeah, tremendously. Yeah,
so you get a lot of hits for like pieces and things like that that need to be done.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely you know, I had a lot of phases on social media where I was doing a lot and I was getting my art, you know, to the right people or to the right sources and stuff. Like when I was on Tumblr, I had like
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I kind of had a nice following on Tumblr. I had like a kind of underground hip hop following. I had people, you know, ASAP Mob was like hitting me up. ASAP Yams followed me.
Wow.
Ian Connor, all them type of people. They invited me up to New York. I was, you know, I just wasn't really ready at the time
So what do you
to.
think slowed you down from going? Because I mean, are they
A lot of, a lot of,
now, or?
a lot of things, man.
I understand.
Certain, you know, situations kind of slowed me down, but I just wasn't I didn't see the value and opportunity versus what I was dealing with at the time, and so I just kind of I didn't take it as serious, you know. But you know, I had other opportunities. You know, I did things like with my Instagram where there was like a year where I was basically getting reposted by a rapper like twice a week. And I was like, I think that was like maybe 2015 or something like that. I was like just finishing school, and I would be coming home from class, cooking up, you know, art on Microsoft Paint, posting it at night. Then I wake up the next morning and you know, Rick Ross reposted it or
Nice.
Meek Mill. You know, I have a long list of people who's touched my work, reposted it, you know, it shouted me out, put it in their story. It's, you know, it's a nice thing because it would draw a lot more attention to my page, and then I would get more customers. I would get other you know, more up and coming rappers trying to get work done.
Right.
I had a wild offer one time from somebody, and I didn't know who that was at the time.
Right.
It was like, that's how wild this shit is on social media, because you could really you could be like a nigga in your dorm room making art, and
Yeah.
a rapper hitting you up like, hey man, make one for me and shit. But he kind of came at me the wrong way. I ain't really I ain't like how he was just like he was like, do the work and he'll
I'm gonna give you some exposure or some shit.
Yeah, that's exactly
right. Bro, look, I really get it. Like,
yeah,
I have
man.
so many people, you know me, man. You know, I do what I do. So it's like I get them.
I didn't, but the thing is though, I probably would have did it if he approached it more differently, because I probably still would have did it if he just for the free, just because of the opportunity. But it's just the way he, you know, it was just like, hey man, like, you know, at least tell me there's a benefit, a real benefit, not just the same catchphrase and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like you feel like these folks got a script out here and they all reading from the same one.
Yeah, man. It be killing me. But
or
it was
they hit you with the silence, or the ones I've heard the most is let me talk to my boyfriend about it. All right. Then I heard let me take it to the family. Or okay, yeah, we really want to use you, so I'm gonna call you by the end of the week or whatever. And it's like those are some weird ass things to say to somebody that you're trying to work with on the first run through. To me, you kind of need to make it more personalized. I mean, if you're really gonna go forward with purchasing something, and I mean, it's bigger than money. When you looking at something that makes you feel something, it's just money is just what we have it as a use of exchange to.
Most definitely.
You know,
that's all it is.
What it is you need. I mean, you know how I do, man. I be hitting you all wild hours like, yo, hey, let me get this one. How much it like in my mind, I take pride in asking another person that creates stuff with their mind, like, how much is it? Like, people be like, oh, you shouldn't even ask the price. I'm just like, well, I want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I appreciate it, man.
Bro, it's in the crib. It's been in every one of my apartments. Like your art was some of the first art I purchased on my own as a man, and I felt like, oh, this is cool. I'm finally like a man, and I'm purchasing art, and I have a story.
You got some good ones.
Oh yeah,
you got some good ones too. Like I like, I feel like the two you bought for me the first, like them was some of my like in that era, like some of my best pieces. So
yeah,
you got
I remember.
Like
That's
I
what
be
you said.
telling.
You said that you were like, man, this is some of my best work. And I was like, well, if it's sentimental, man, you keep it. And you was like,
Nah,
no. You
I,
like
I appreciate what you did, man. You definitely did a lot for us. So we I looked at it like it was going in the right hands, like because that work was out. That was work I made in Alabama. That was that era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I look like it should be in Alabama. That's work that should be with somebody, people I know in Alabama. I gave a lot of original work to people down there. Because I wasn't making prints. So a lot of people was just buying straight up original work from me. And I don't sell original work anymore.
That's
I
good.
only do prints now. So all the people that got the originals, I tell you, I take care of them joints. Because I plan on making sure they're worth something, you know. So
boxes, man. I keep it in like a certain box. When we move, it's like it all goes in like one particular box, or I carry it by hand because I just didn't want it to get punctured in the wrong place. And you know, things happen on the road and all that kind of stuff. But
man, I definitely appreciate. I know it's in a good place. I know I definitely knew that you appreciated it because I you let me know like, hey man, like you wanted that shit, like especially the ones from before, and then the 8-ball MJG joint, like I wasn't gonna sell that one, but I looked at it like, I was like, you know what, nah, because that's gonna be a whole collection that I'm gonna drop soon. It's gonna be it's gonna be kind of like the Trill collection where I just put all the pieces from from that era of music.
Are you gonna have an exhibit like in person up there, or are you gonna do it virtual, or how can we come out to it? What's the move?
Right now I'm just thinking about so it's like with the project I was telling you about earlier, that's going to be kind of my digital move in a sense. And then I might have I am working on I kind of call it my master series.
Okay.
And so my master series is going to be my collection of large contemporary paintings. And they're going to be like, this is probably going to be my most detailed, best, this is all my skill level, maxed out, everything. Like I'm this stuff I want to get in big galleries up here. So
that's gonna go quick though. I mean, you already made I'm pretty sure you've already made plenty of connections by now. I mean,
it's kind of like it's been a little weird for me because it's just a different place. It's not like how it used to be.
Gotcha.
And DC is
and all that kind of stuff.
It's a lot of other type of people here, and they kind of got things kind of cornered off in certain markets. But at the same time, I haven't been able to be out as much in those crowds and stuff. And then I don't know, it's half and half. Like I'm an artsy dude, but it's like that's just kind of me in essence. That's not who I am like all the time outside. And, I'm not. I'm still a nigga from uptown. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, you always remember your beginnings, whatever it is.
Yeah, but I've been I feel like I've been a little off put by the way things are now for the art world, because the art world is very, very modernized, very progressive. And there's parts of it that, like with my art, there's things that could be offensive. There's things that could be considered, what I'm saying? Like even in the PC era, I know my opinions could say. Yeah, and that too. And that's something I definitely am taking into account with some of my future endeavors, is because the paintings I'm gonna do in my master series is definitely gonna be stuff that's probably my deepest and darkest and realest stuff. So man, it's gonna be it's I've already kind of done one, but it's just I don't even know if I'm satisfied with it yet. But it's just it's gonna, and I'll even it's gonna be about the Black experience for man and manhood. But like that's kind of like where I'm going with it. Like it's gonna be real. So
Respect. Okay.
yeah,
No, I feel it. So I guess I'll take a downshift, man. That was a lot of information. That was a lot to process. Easy for me, hard for people that don't understand greatness. So it's all good. This is a period of the show that I like to call the lightning round, formerly known as this or that, or just random ass questions that ain't got shit to do with shit.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go.
So, would you rather? Question one: would you rather be underpaid or overrated?
Overpaid.
No, underpaid.
Oh, underpaid. Oh, overrated. I'll be overrated.
Why you feel like that?
Because ratings are just perception, and I don't really have to live my life based on perception. If anything, I should be living my life based on my own anyway. So, I could listen to how people rate shit and use that to gauge stuff, but at the end of the day, my priority is taking care at home and get, all that stuff. So it's like, man, yeah, I could care about how people think or perceive shit, but shit, 9 times out of 10, it don't got shit to do with me or affect me. So it's like,
right.
I if I care about how I'm rated, then that means I'm spending less time getting that bread. Just be honest, like this. I feel like it's a science to it. Like,
worrying about perception and all those kind of things. It's like, what was your process of getting through some of the worst things that have happened in your life to date? Like,
I mean, shit. Honestly, I can't say I have like a general process, but I feel like I got my ways of always, muscling through bullshit. And a lot of it has to do with like what I was saying earlier, like just focus on them things I used to grow. And so like when a few years ago, I went through a huge life changing situation.
Okay, yeah.
And and that's within that situation, I kind of, it was so life changing where I left, I left a lot of things behind. I had a car, home, I had a job, and I kind of just left all that shit behind. And I kind of restarted. So I went back to my old job, Geek Squad, because I still had my rapport with people that worked there. Okay. So I would just do that part-time. And in that same time, I just focus on creating art.
Gotcha.
And I probably spent more time doing art than I've ever done in my life for like maybe a year. And, just like to the point where I was making more money off the art than I was making off the job.
Yeah. And
so I was just like, man, as soon as I wake up every day, I'm clocking in, create something new so it could trigger a ripple effect. So somebody else want to buy something or, somebody wants something commissioned. And that cycle was going for like a nice little year. And, I was going through the situation I was in, but it was showing me that I had so much value. I had so much potential. And so, yeah, I had lost everything, but immediately I was growing. Immediately I was like, oh shit, my life could change really fast if I just focus on what I know how to do. And that was it. I focused on the art. I started making beats, and to the point where I felt like I could make beats as good as I do the art. I focused on, my mind and body, and I started boxing. Like I used to box a little bit when I was like in high school, and then so it was like a little bit in college and stuff. Like it was more so something I did to, kind of calm my PTSD and anxiety and shit.
Yeah.
But I started doing a lot more like a little later, after college, because I like the art of it, and now it's to the point where I like the craft and the science and the understanding of throwing certain punches, slipping punches, your parries, your hooks, all the different styles, the different stances. I really enjoy watching fights and highlights. I'll be at work eating cereal, in front of the computer watching fights and shit. Like, and that's I love that. I love my art forms, and those are the things that to me that one it's like because when you're good at something, it's very it's a self-esteem booster. And it's not even just on something like I'm good at something. Other people think that. It's that I know I'm good at something. I could perceive it myself. And so when you have that in front of you every day, it's like you can't get thrown off. It's hard to focus on other things. It's hard to be elsewhere. It's hard to be up in other people's drama. You stop, it's very easy to dissociate. It's very easy to disconnect. I worked the whole week, but then on the weekend I could go, to my girl crib, and I'm there creating for like a weekend on mushrooms, and I'm in my portal of creation, and then I could get so much done in that time, and not worry about anything else. Hell yeah.
Like, you think it's like necessary, or is it just kind of like a situational download?
It's definitely I feel like it's more of a, it's sometimes, like it just helps sometimes in a sense. Like it's I don't do that stuff all the time to create.
No. Yeah, that's understood. I mean,
but it helps. It does help.
Right. That's why I received it. If anything, it was kind of more of an enhancement, depending on the situation, the art, or just the time in life. I mean, it's a lot of things that we make choices based off like shit that we're going through, but it's like you have to find ways to positively distract yourself from the negativity, which is so easy to fall into, bro. Like it
really is. Unfortunately, it is, especially as humans, we get sucked into that stuff. Like it's addictive, and so like I know I fight for my positivity. I fight for my peace. Like it's like that's what I fight for. That's what I'm gonna beat somebody's ass over, my peace. Right. Like that's how I feel. Like,
I felt that. That's real. You gotta protect your peace. You gotta protect your baby. It could be your art. It could be your house. Like, I guess it should be your house. That's probably where you create most of your stuff. If you're not out in nature or something like that. Nature kind of triggered me to ask you this. Like, if it was one thing in the world that you could decrease, what would it be?
I would decrease the existence of firearms. I think that's, for me, that's my, like, it's straight up. Yeah. I would rid the world of firearms altogether. And then just go back to things being, like folks gotta really work again. Folks gotta really
actually like beat somebody's ass.
Equalize the world. Get rid of guns. Get rid of bombs.
Equalizer movie too, which is like, it made me think about the film with Denzel Washington, the 2-part series. Yeah. I love to use film as a reference for almost anything that I'm going through, or got a huge film collection.
Me too. I'll be doing that. Have you seen Harder They Fall that just came out?
Nah, we're supposed to watch that one this weekend. That's that movie night day. So
check that out, man. If you like movies, I think you'll definitely like that joint. Like I'm not a huge film buff, but I feel like for what I know about cinema, it definitely did a great job. Like it does a great job. Like it's not, I definitely catch a lot of corny shit in movies.
Definitely.
I'm a huge
necessary.
I'm very anti Michael B. Jordan type nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like movies that have cheesy scripts and one-liners and dumbass shit like that. Like, I personally, there's a lot about Black Panther I didn't like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
cool.
at the same time, that movie, Harder They Fall, they nailed the whole black Western thing. And
Yeah,
they
there's a lot of
didn't
history
make it
behind it as
cheesy.
well.
They didn't throw any corny, modernized stuff. Nobody was like no cap or no stupid shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a good movie. Like, check it out, man. I definitely I've been doing some art pieces about it because I really enjoyed it. Like I think that's a good movie. I think we should celebrate, all those moments in our art, art world, and even Black Panther should definitely be celebrated. I have my gripes with it, but it was
Right.
amazing. It was still amazing for what it was. And then they gotta make a sequel. I said that they gotta make one. It caught me off guard. I honestly I thought I wasn't gonna like it.
And when I looked at it and I watched the preview, I was kind of thinking like Django, but without the slaves. And I was like, I don't know. And then,
It definitely got some Django to it, but
yeah.
you know what it feels like to me, and you know what? Nah, I'm not going to even tell you because I want you to have the most objective experience with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you go into it, you get your own vibe by it. It gave me a certain kind of vibe, and that's what made me really like it more. But I know everybody sees things differently, especially with cinema. So definitely check it out. You should do like a review of it or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You'll definitely. I feel like you might want to.
Probably have to have you back on then to do that since you've seen it and check out your perspective. And I'll probably bring in Jay for that one because huge movie.
Yeah, you can ask me questions. We could do more questions about it, and we could go over see what I ask you what you thought about it, and see what you make of like. Yeah, it's a good one. Check it out. Definitely check it out.
Oh yeah, we're putting it into existence right now. It's gonna happen, y'all. So it's like when we coming back. You said video games, right? You do play video games?
Yeah, I'm a casual. Right. I'm not a gamer. I'm the type of dude that I still have the same gamer reflexes I had when I was growing up, but I'm not somebody that could play for a long time. Like I could play a game for probably like 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, because it's like the new games, I say are they got a lot going on.
Too much.
I miss the linear gameplay. I miss no, not even that. Like even with the first player games, they're all sandbox. So they're all, either open world or sandbox kind of, or they're just ultra detailed. Right. And so I get kind of caught up in, me, I'm a visual nigga. Like I get caught up in the visuals. I get caught up in all the stuff going on. There's so much driving and horseback riding and shit going on to get to the destination. The game be the size of your state. And so you
like I'm living this, man. I ain't trying to play this.
It'd be exercise to play the game. Sitting there, I'm like, man, I gotta drive to this motherfucking crib, do this mission.
Like, and you still in the living room?
Still in the living room. Like you're like, man, I could go and make a sandwich while I'm doing this shit. Like you know what I'm saying? And that shit be fucking me up. So I'd be like, man, nah. I find myself playing the more classic, basic games, like the old school, the arcade type games, the fighting games.
The groups I'm in on Facebook. I'm in one is like PS1 ain't dead, PS2 ain't dead. Like they're different. Yeah. I don't know if you have Facebook or not. I'm trying to.
I never heard of it, but I like that. I like that phrase.
Yeah, that's all they talk about, bro. Showing what they got for the day and like with the trading, just like old school nerd stuff, like how we used to do. Virtually. So.
I tell you one new modern game I fuck with, and I'm gonna say this kind of debunks a lot of the other shit I was saying because this game has all of that. Yeah. But this game just does it to me really well. And it's like, it's not too much, but it's a big game. It's a lot going on, but it's not too much.
Right.
And the gameplay is very it keeps you playing. Like you want to keep playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's Ghost of Tsushima. And that Ghost of Tsushima on PS4.
Okay.
That shit that's probably one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite modern game, like in the last 10 years or whatever. You know, like it's like basically just big samurai type Red Dead Redemption type of game. You know what I'm saying? But you're a samurai. It's like
I just bought Red Dead Redemption 2 the other day.
Yeah, I got that shit too. I'm about to start playing that shit. Like I never really got into it for real.
I never played the first one or the second one. I was just in Best Buy fucking off, and I saw it and it was the last one on the shelf like 2 weeks ago. And the dude, I had it in my hand and I was about to actually put it down and get some candy and leave because it was cheaper.
Right.
I was like, and then the white dude ran over. He was like, yo, he's like, are you leaving this right here? And I was like, I'm thinking like he was mad because, you know, I left the game in the front instead of putting it, because I usually put stuff back, but I was at the front of the store.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, you really need to keep this game. And I was like, oh, wow, you ran over here to tell me that? He was like, well, yeah.
He ran over here to tell you to get that
experience. He's like, this is not a video game experience. And I was like, I'm silent. Yeah. He's silent. We just kind of looking around. I'm looking at the cover. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, man, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I go on and grab it. I still ain't even open the joint. I'm gonna play it though soon because I get like some time off pretty soon from like my like little projects and stuff like that, and I got to do better about that. But I'm gonna do that.
And I'm about to get into it myself. I like I said, I barely touched it. Like I've probably had a possession of it like for a while, but just never fucked with it. But Ghost of Tsushima take my time. Like that's the only game I play. Like if I'm not at work, you know, so I get off work and come home from happy hour or something. Might do a little micro dose or something. You know what I'm saying? And just play. Man, that shit's beautiful. Beautiful game.
HD.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then so Red Dead Redemption is also a great game to play with the Sin Asylum. So that you know, so you on a big ass screen TV. Oh man, that
off top.
That's
no less shit, man. At this point.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, man. It's you gotta play that joint with a nice some nice visuals and smoke some good weed.
Oh yeah, ain't hating.
Yeah, most definitely. You already know.
If it had to be one way or the other, would you pick PS1 or PS2?
Definitely PlayStation 2.
All right. Yeah, what about PS3 or PS4?
I don't even know. Probably PS3. But I honestly don't even know with them two. They don't really hold no special places.
Right.
Yeah, it's like they ain't nothing on them joints that was just like them the games that changed my life. I guess PS4 got Ghost of Tsushima. I fuck with it that hard, so I would give it the PS4 just for that. But honestly, I honestly I can't. Them new games and the new systems just don't got that shit that you know, like the 360 and the PS2.
Yeah, it's too commercialized for me.
Yeah, you remember playing for hours?
Yeah, like, be locked in.
To your hand clammy and shit. And
right.
Playing Halo 3. I remember being in college playing Halo 3. It would be like 10 of us and shit. We on that mother. It was racist as hell. I remember it was like right after Obama won.
Yeah.
And, we was talking big shit on that show. We was talking big shit. We was just like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna make y'all slaves. Talking big shit, but that was the good old days, man. I remember the PlayStation 2, NBA Street, and Def Jam Vendetta.
Oh man, yeah, all the classics, man.
Man, Time Splitters. Niggas don't know about Time Splitters and shit. Man, what Red Faction, motherfucking. There's a lot. It's some classics, man. Like it was shit. We used to the split screen, full screen. Like we used to do that shit. Me and my cousins.
Golden Now, N64, like shoot.
Oh yeah, nah. We used to play that for push-ups.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
You're right. Whoever lost had to do like. I was the youngest, and I always had to do. I'm swole now.
Oh, you swole now.
Get my ass whooped, dog. I tried to get that go together. It just wasn't working.
I'm top.
Yeah, kids.
Bruh. Man.
You already know, man.
So I've overstayed my time, man, but we've truly enjoyed having you on the Living Water Chronicles podcast, bro.
Man, I already know, man. It was a good time. It was good ass questions. Next time I'm gonna have a bottle.
All right. Yeah.
We'll have a bottle of tequila, so it'll be like, so I had a lemon, put the lemon with it and shit.
Oh yeah, bro. Like definitely, yeah, man. Make it creative. Like,
yeah, you already know,
bro.
You already know.
Last question is, man, what's next for August? Jah, aka however you understand to know this guy.
Like definitely, you know, more art projects. Like I said, I definitely am embarking on a musical journey. Soon I will be dropping instrumental albums. I will be dropping some vocal albums. And you know, it will incorporate my art style, my creativeness, the way I see things. You know, I will put that into the art, into the music, you know. So it will be kind of like my art in music form. So might be satirical, might be funny, might be dark, might be light, all of it in one. But it's gonna be, I want it to be an experience within itself. And I've been loving studying music my whole life, to the point where it's like this was kind of long overdue. So I feel like it's happened at the right time. You know, I don't look at my age like it's an issue. I look at it like yeah, like it's meant to be, you know. So, especially the way I could do as an MC and, you know, vocalist. Like I understand my voice now, I understand my range, I understand I could rap my ass off for real. And it's just, you know, it was something I always kind of just played with, but now it's just like, man, I could definitely just put together some nice projects.
And
see what I can do with it, see who might discover it, who might come across it. Who knows? You know, it's you know, I feel like my stuff is somewhere, it's gonna be like some it's like Nate Dogg mixed with mixed with like Max B, mixed with, you know, just some lyrical shit, mixed with like, it's just kind of everything, a little bit of everything. So I definitely got, you know, my direction I'm going with it. And you know, like I said, I want it to be an experience. I don't want it to sound like nothing else. I don't want it to hit like nothing else. I want it to, but I also want it to be classic. So
Facts.
And I feel like I know my shit enough to make something good. So that's what I'm going with.
But shit, let them know where they can follow you, subscribe, and all that good jazz, man.
Y'all can follow me at the old Jah is Dead. That's THEOLD. Jah is Dead at Instagram.com. Well, not .com, is Instagram.
Right. They'll know what it means.
They know what it means, but shit. I also used to say the email address for work and shit. It's just muscle memory at this point. But nah, yeah, that's pretty much the only place y'all can find my art and work.
One place to make it simplified, so they know where to go. So I mean,
yeah, I will have, like, you know, my music out soon. It'll probably be SoundCloud or something along the lines of that, platform like that. Have I'm just playing, or this will be my first time ever dropping a musical project. So there's like anybody that have known me to rap and shit, you know, they only seen small glimpses of it. So it's brand new shit.
All right, man. Well, y'all, I appreciate y'all checking out this episode, man, of the Lemon Water Chronicles podcast. And remember, when life gives you lemons, make lemon water.
Lemon water. When life gives you lemons, make lemon water.